And now here's Kelly. Barini! On the shoulder of the defender, who I fear may be responsible for an own goal.
The only goal of last Thursday's game in Edinburgh separates Liverpool and Hearts. And tonight's Liverpool lineup, picked to try and secure safe passage into the group stages of the Europa League, includes the names of the likes of Gerrard, Suarez. It's a strong lineup. And in the last hour, it's become evident Andy Carroll is about to join West Ham. More details on the way. Hearts don't believe this playoff tie is beyond them, and an early away goal would do them a power of good. John McGlynn's team are finding it hard to win, but they're hard to beat. Victory tonight will be their finest hour in European club competition. It's an Anglo-Scottish contest, live here on ESPN. A full house expected for the 148th match in European club competition to be played here at Anfield. Now, Jim Jeffries is Hearts through and through, and Didi Hamann is a hero from Istanbul. First things first, who would you like to see here now that Andy Carroll is West Ham bound?
Well, I think it's become evident that the club needs a centre-forward and another winger. So, Sturridge, Walcott, Huntelaar have been taunted and linked with the club. I think if we see 2 out of them 3 players come the 31st of August, I think the fans will all be happy.
Yeah, with Andy gone, they need to strengthen quickly in the forward positions.
Yes, they need a centre-forward. That was their problem last season. They didn't score enough goals. The goals again on Sunday come from 2 set pieces. I think they need somebody who can create chances, create goals like Walcott can, or Sturridge, and somebody who puts him away like Huntelaar can maybe.
Yeah, he's a good player. Is this damage limitation, or is it a huge shock on the cards tonight, Jim?
Well, I think Hearts did themselves proud last week. I mean, I think they were unlucky to lose the game, and I think it shows in the team selection tonight for Liverpool that the respect they got last week, because it's a strong Liverpool team. And when I seen it on, I thought if they played a weekend side, then you just never know. But tonight, Liverpool looked very strong, and I think if they can keep in the time and the longer it goes, you never know, they might get nervous. But here's hoping for a good showing from Hearts.
You're quite right, Jim. You never know. Team news on the way, but more now on the news that Andy Carroll is West Ham bound. Over to Daryl Curry.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ray. That is the story, of course, dominating all the talk down here in the tunnel tonight. And I can tell you, Andy Carroll is in London. He's with West Ham at the moment, doing his medical. I'm led to believe initially it's a loan deal with a fee of around £2 million to be paid to Liverpool, and then possibly the deal could be completed at the end of this season. I believe that's dependent on West Ham staying in the Premier League. Possibly a fee of around £17 million if they do indeed complete the deal at the end of the season, meaning Liverpool would make a substantial loss on Andy Carroll. So it seems that is a bit of business that will be done ahead of the transfer window. Elsewhere, Charlie Adam. I am told tonight that 2 bids have arrived at Liverpool for Charlie Adam. One from Stoke, another one from a club in Turkey. It's up to Charlie Adam now. He's here tonight in his suit, not involved in the matchday squad, so he controls his own destiny. And as for Jay Spearing, I believe a transfer will be completed, a loan deal for him to Bolton, at least until the January transfer window. He'll be away for 6 months' time. So some notable absentees. Let's get the rest of the team news now with Derek Ray.
Thanks very much, Darryl. I think it's going to be a frantic Friday over at Melwood. But first things first, Brendan Rodgers has got to pick the right team to see off Heart of Midlothian for the second time in 7 days. No surprise, based on what Darryl has just reported, that Andy Carroll, Charlie Adam, Jay Spearing not involved. 17-year-old Raheem Sterling, who has made such a big impact in the last couple of matches, will begin on the bench, as will Fabio Borini. And that creates an opportunity for 18-year-old Adam Morgan up front. Morgan, a local boy, makes his first competitive start. Stuart Downing has handed a chance to shine at left back, perhaps a portent of things to come for the England international. As far as Hearts are concerned, John McGlynn gives a big thumbs up to the team that put so much into the Tynecastle leg. Captain Marius Zaliukas has been struggling with a dead leg, but the Lithuanian, who was replaced at half-time in Sunday's goalless draw away to Aberdeen, will give it a go alongside Andy Webster, the unfortunate scorer of the late own goal 7 nights ago. David Templeton has been at the centre of much transfer speculation today. If a serious bid were to come in from, say, Rangers or Bristol City, Hearts, given current financial realities, might well be tempted to do business. And Hearts are certainly going to have to swim against the tide of history. Never before in continental competition have they lost the first leg at home and gone on to progress. Ray.
Didi, what do you make of this Liverpool lineup tonight? Obviously, they've got to get the job done, but there's a big game against Arsenal at the weekend, and I say they need to win that. They don't go into an international break struggling for Premier League points.
Yeah, that's a good thing that there's an international break afterwards, so there's only one more game before that. I think Brent Rodgers would have liked to rest a few more senior players and bring maybe 2-3 more younger players in, but given us how well Hearts did in the first leg, and as we've just heard, they were lucky to win the game. He opted for a very strong lineup with Suarez, Gerrard, Alan Henderson. It's not far off his best team. Obviously, some players are rested, but they're on the bench, so if they needed to come on, they will be on the bench and ready to go on.
But when you've got Suarez in the team, you've got goals, and that is a compliment to Hearts this evening. Downing at left-back, Adam Morgan in the team too. Lots of things are changing here at Anfield. The Liverpool fans will be really excited by what might happen.
Yeah, absolutely, and Brent Rodgers come out this week saying that Stuart Downing may have to change his position and play more in the full-back position. I think it's due to the fact that they haven't got another left-back. Glenn Johnson had to play on the left for the last 2 games, so sometimes that change can help somebody take his game to another level, and I hope Downing is the same.
Come on, Jim, tell us about this Hearts team. What's the game plan going to be? How are they going to go about taking on the Reds of Liverpool?
I think John will just give us more of the same as they did last week. Their attitude was terrific. They were up and at him, and they gave it their best shot. You can see he's picked the same team with the same formation, and he's hoping that Templeton, playing off Sutton, can maybe cause their defence a few problems. He's certainly got the ability to do that.
Now, come on, Templeton, how good is he? How much is he worth?
Oh, he's an exceptional talent.
What advice would you give to him? Because people are talking about him moving on in the next few days.
Oh, it depends. You know, the club financially, the club have been...
Is he good enough for the Premier League in England yet?
Well, it depends what level in the Premier League, and you know, I'm sure he could play in the Premier League eventually. Be one for the future if a big club wanted to come in and take him, because he's got loads of talent.
Look, I know you know him well, but what about going to Rangers, 3rd division of the Scottish Football League? Would that aid his development?
They might not have a say in it because of the fact that you know, the club may be looking to pull money in and cash in on him at this stage. It all depends what the sort of money they'll get offered. I'm sure there's more clubs than Rangers would be interested in David Templeton, and it depends if he wants to play in the 3rd division. But sometimes at the end of the day, as you can see with some players, money talks, and that might be the deciding factor. But I hope Hearts keep him. He's a terrific talent, and they're a young side. And you know, but as I said, it looks to me like you know, what we're hearing is that before the deadline, I think John McGlynn will be hoping that passes by tomorrow.
We will see. Let's hear from the Hearts manager, John McGlynn, with Daryl Curry.
Well, Ray, thanks again. John, good to see you. How would you sum up the task that lies ahead tonight? How big a challenge will this be?
No, it's a massive challenge, there's no doubt about that, but I think we're up for it. You know, we showed last week at Tynecastle that we're no mugs, and we do have a threat. We're hoping to come here tonight and cause a threat. Obviously Liverpool have put in Gerrard and Suarez and 1 or 2 others, so you know, they've showed a lot of respect by doing that, and it's up to us to go and compete in the game, make sure that we cause them problems. Not give Liverpool any time in the ball. You know, we did that very well last week at Tynecastle, and we're trying to set up in a similar manner tonight.
Regardless of their team selection, that performance at Tynecastle, will that have given all your team, including the young boys, a lot of confidence? Without doubt, yeah, exactly. Yeah, we took a lot of confidence from that. We felt a wee bit aggrieved that we actually lost the game. We felt we'd done enough in the game to get at least a draw, and possibly we could have won the game 1-0 as well. I don't think too many people would have complained if we had got that. So it has given us a lot of confidence, but we know it's a difficult task here. We know that Liverpool done exceptionally well against Gomel in the last game. You know, in the last round when they came here, and you know, the loss, the 1-0 away from home Liverpool, but they won here very convincingly against Gomel. So we know that is what they'll be looking for, but we're here looking to cause an upset. How do you approach this tactically? Because of course you do have to win, but is it a balance between showing ambition and staying in the tie early on? Yeah, without doubt, yeah. I mean, as long as the scoreline leads Liverpool 0 for a long time, until such times as we can get our noses in front, and that's great, you know. If it's Liverpool 0 late on in the game, then 1 goal can be enough to maybe take it to extra time, you know. We obviously need to score, you know, 2 to finish the thing, so that's exactly what we're looking to do. But, you know, we keep ourselves in the tie as long as it says Liverpool 0. For us, you know, as I say, the longer it goes, hopefully the more nervous they get and the more chances we've got to maybe just sneak in a goal, and then who knows. And unlike Liverpool, you don't have the luxury of having a very big squad. And I heard you say after the game against Aberdeen, you're worried about fatigue. A few days further on, is that still a concern tonight?
Well, we'll never know. You know, the lads have we've done everything possible that you can do to get the guys in good condition to go back into this game tonight. It's a massive game. It takes up a lot of your sort of nervous energy as well playing in these type of games. But you know, it's hard. We've not got a crystal ball. You know, we've done the best we can. As you say, we've not got the big squad that Liverpool have got to go and just change it as they've done. But the guys we've got in the park will give absolutely everything, that's for sure.
The very best of luck.
A flotilla of tall ships sailed down the Mersey last night and tied up in Liverpool. Andy Carroll is leaving Liverpool on the tide. The question is, who's going to dock at the Kop in the next 24 hours? Well, there's lots of live football from across Europe to look forward to here on ESPN this weekend. On Saturday, after Barclays Premier League action, it's the Bologna AC Milan Serie A match from 7:45. Then on Sunday, from the French League, Bordeaux play Nice from 12:45. And then Sunday night, back to Serie A, Inter Milan at home to Roma, plus all the weekend's goals from Italy's top flight. Tonight, the focus is on the Europa League playoff between Liverpool and Hearts. Place in the group stage, the competition is the prize. Liverpool will go into the game with a 1-0 lead. Hearts are pumped up for this match. Starting for Liverpool, Jordan Henderson, he's yet to feature in the Premier League this season. So tonight is a great opportunity for the 22-year-old to raise his profile and his place in the pecking order in the eyes of new Liverpool boss Brendan Rodgers.
It's a really good competition to be in, and everybody gets the chance to, if they play, to impress the manager and try and get into his starting 11.
Are you seeing the evidence of that already? Players, for instance, like Raheem Sterling had a good game in the Europa League, and he finds himself in the Premier League team.
Yeah, I think Raheem's been brilliant all pre-season, to be honest. Done really well, worked really hard and deserved to play at the weekend. And he done brilliant, so if you can do well in the games and keep training hard, then I'm sure you'll get your chance.
The intensity's probably really stepped up with guys like Nouri Sahin joining and Joe Allen now. So much competition for places, especially in the midfield. I
think that's a good thing for everybody. It's make sure that everybody's at it every day in training, and it can only progress you on as a player. It's a big club, and I need to just keep working hard and fight for my place.
If you look back at the year you've spent here so far, how would you sum it up?
There's lots of ups and downs, but I wouldn't change any of it. I think it definitely changed me as a person. I think I grew up a lot more and became a man, and there was a lot of times where maybe I wasn't playing particularly well, but I would still come back and work on the things, keep training hard and keep my head up.
I remember speaking to you shortly after you signed, and we discussed things like your price tag and the fact that maybe you wouldn't be a focal point here at Liverpool. A year on now, do you think you've dealt with those factors?
At times I think I dealt with it well, at other times I probably didn't. But I've definitely learned from them. Hopefully I can get more starts in the Premier League.
Do you also have to learn how to deal with criticism?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's one big part of it. People's opinions are going to change and going to be different at any level, I think. So you've just got to do what you know, what you're good at.
How have things changed here? Of course, Kenny Dalglish was giving you all those chances last year. Brendan's the boss now.
When Kenny was here, we had great times and we played some good football at times as well. But when Brendan's came in, I think everyone's been really impressed. He's been really good, and I think you've seen definitely against Man City that the way that we can play in terms of keeping the ball and taking control of games.
After West Brom, you know, some people criticised the team, and yet the manager stressed how well you played for large spells in that game. He seems very level-headed.
Yeah, he is. He won't get carried away, and the players won't get carried away, but we're definitely going in the right direction, and we feel as though we've got a lot more to give.
Jim Jeffries indeed a man in the ESPN lineup tonight. Jordan Henderson for Liverpool. Didi, what are you expecting from him in his second season, and what do you see as his potential, reflecting on what happened last year?
I think he's going to do better than last season. He's done okay last season. He got bought for a lot of money, got a lot of chances. I think he's done okay. You've got to give him the benefit of the doubt. He's only a young kid. He played well at times, but not consistently well enough. And I think he had a look in now. He's here second year. And at Liverpool, you can't take your foot off the gas. You need to perform every day in training and every time you play at Anfield. So I think it's a big year for him because he's got to do better than last year. He's got untold potential. He's been in the England squad. I think he could be a big player for Liverpool.
Henderson was a big signing. Downing's a big signing. How long do you think it takes to change position? And do you see Downing, do you see this as... do you think so that potentially is he going to become a top left-back?
Well, if I was the manager of Hearts tonight, then at some stage, maybe even early, if he's not a regular left-back, you should maybe test him out defensively, and I think maybe David Templeton should maybe have a go on that side, and that would really test him if he could do it defensively. But, you know, sometimes people take a step back, it's a lot easier, you see the game in front of you, and maybe that's where Brendan Rodgers sees him staking a claim for a place.
You know what, Jim, I love you. You're saying that with a glint in your eye and a smile. You can suddenly see a chance in there. What about Adam Morgan, DD? Andy Carroll's gone, full senior debut, and Raheem Sterling came in, excited people. There's another opportunity for a young man.
Absolutely. Sterling comes in against Hart as well, plays against City, and he's been one of the best players on Sunday. Morgan comes in, he's a terrific finisher. He's got a bullet of a left foot on him, so if he does get a chance in the box, expect him to score. Big opportunity for him tonight. If he does well, he'll be closer to the first team. I think there'll be another forward coming in, but he can't do his chances no harm. It's a terrific opportunity and a great European night at Anfield, so he's just got to have a go, hopefully score, and see what happens afterwards.
OK, there's no doubt what the major talking has been as Liverpool fans are gathering here for tonight's game. Who replaces, who comes in for Andy Carroll?
Probably the likes of Dempsey, probably Daniel Sturridge. Probably need a bit more flary players into the side, a bit of pace, because that's what Brendan Rodgers is bringing.
Maybe Dempsey, someone like that, if he's still available. Yeah, that's what we need, some goals.
Xabi Alonso.
Clint Dempsey is one of my favourites. Watching him, he's a good footballer, good attacking hand, coming back.
It's Daniel Sturridge and Clint Dempsey.
I'd like Adam Johnson, but obviously he's gone to Sunderland.
Dempsey, Walcott. Love to see Owen back at the club if he could.
It's going to be a busy 24 hours because something has got to happen. Let's hear from the Liverpool manager, Brendan Rodgers. Here he is with Daryl Curry.
Well, Ray, thank you very much. Brendan, really good to see you. Lots to discuss tonight, but first of all, let's start with the game. Are you still wary of the threat Hearts pose, even though you're in control of this tie?
Yeah, absolutely. We're certainly not complacent. You know, our focus and concentration is very much on performing well and getting a good result. So, and at 1-0, the game is still in the balance. But we're at home. Got a strong team, strong group, got brilliant supporters, and hopefully we can finish the job off.
There are some notable absentees, including Andy Carroll. And on this day of great speculation, would you give us the official line as to why he's not involved?
Well, Andy's at the moment at West Ham. Going through a medical there, so obviously he's not here involved. So it's very simple. It's one where, you know, the club here have made a monumental investment in Big Andy, and obviously at this moment in time he's not playing. So and he'd made it very clear that he wants to play games right from when we first met in the summer. So. And obviously this is the last chance for him to maybe go and do that. And then obviously, like I said, we can then assess it over the course of the next 6 months to a season. So that's the simple answer.
OK, so as for the team you have selected then, young Adam Morgan comes in today to make his first competitive start. Where does he fit into the system, and what do you think he might add to the team?
Well, our structure is 4-3-3. Obviously you get Luis Suarez through the middle. Jordan Henderson and young Adam Morgan coming in from the sides, but much more central in their support. So at times, as I said, their movements will be flexible. They'll be inside and outside. We get 3 players to control the game, hopefully in the middle of the field, and obviously we've got attacking fullbacks that can go and get forward and join in on the outside. So hopefully we can just keep the momentum going from Sunday. We had an excellent performance, and it's important that we continue with that, and that'll be the idea tonight.
You say attacking fullbacks. Stuart Downing gets a go at left back tonight. From what you've seen, do you think that's a role he can really make his own?
Yeah, I think first and foremost he's happy to play the role. It's not something that I've forced onto him. He's a player that I've seen a number of years ago playing that position for Middlesbrough a number of times, and in particular in the run to the UEFA Cup final. So and on talking with him a number of times, it's a position that he's happy to play, and I think it's a position in the modern game that suits his strengths. You know, he's very good coming from deep. He's a wonderful crosser of the ball, and he can pass the ball well. So you see the modern day fullback now is a lot of them are actually transformed wingers. So I've got no doubt he can come in and do a good job there. And like I said, he played a half hour up at Hearts and done very well when he came on.
Appreciate your time. The best of luck tonight, Brendan.
Thank you.
Hey, we're just about all set. The draw is in Monaco tomorrow for the group stage of the Europa League. This match is going to be settled on the Merseyside Riviera here tonight, and it's wonderful, it's beautiful. We're all set. Liverpool red-hot favourites to go through, but an early away goal for Hearts would set a few pulses racing. The ESPN commentary team for tonight's match, Craig Burley and Derek Ray.
Thank you very much, Ray. Good evening, everyone. Another potentially absorbing meeting of two teams from either side of the border. There's nothing contrived about Liverpool and Heart of Midlothian. The Liverpool team looks, if anything, stronger than the one that took the field at Tynecastle. The likes of Steven Gerrard and Luis Suarez will be involved this time. Stuart Downing starts at left back, something we might see a lot more of in the future. 18-year-old Adam Morgan makes his first competitive start, Craig.
Well, the job been made more difficult tonight by this Liverpool team selected. Carragher comes in, but full of experience. The midfield three operated very, very well, I think, against Man City, especially Joe Allen just sits in front of the back four. Young Morgan does get a start. He is a good striker. He's came through the ranks here, of course, flanked by Suarez as well. So a very, very strong Liverpool side.
Hearts go with the same team that battled so valiantly in the first leg. Lithuanian defender Marius Zaliukas was an injury doubt, but will play from the outset. If you compare and contrast based on Sunday's 0-0 draw away to Aberdeen, one change from that side, another member of the Lithuanian contingent, Arvydas Novikovas, is preferred to Andrew Driver.
Well, I think the important thing is Hearts were competitive in their first game, and certainly what they weren't against Spurs last year, so they haven't given themselves a mountain to climb. It will be a very, very difficult night for them, but they've got to enjoy it. They've got plenty of experience at the back. The four in midfield have to give them some sort of protection, and of course they cannot leave Sutton and Temple to Iceland. It's going to be difficult, but it's not impossible.
Kings of Leon on call. Heart of Midlothian make their first official visit to Anfield, knowing full well they are massive underdogs, but there are nearly 3,000 maroon-clad supporters ready and willing to roar them on. And the record scorer in Europe for Hearts is in attendance, John Robertson, who's working for radio here on Merseyside this evening. Liverpool missed out on Europe last term, and as a club that for so many years set the standard for others to live up to in continental competition, make no mistake, European nights at Anfield have an atmosphere all on their own. The meeting with SPL opposition reminds us that Scots have made gargantuan contributions to the success of Liverpool Football Club. Pride of place, of course, goes to the legendary Bill Shankly, but no fewer than 155 Scottish players have turned out for the Liverpool first team, including Andrew Hanna, who was recruited as their very first captain.
23, Jamie Carragher.
The stage is set then. Two football clubs oozing tradition. Liverpool against Hearts, the second act, next on ESPN.
Number 24, Joe Allen. Number 14, Jordan Henderson.
It is the Europa League playoff round, second leg. Anfield the venue, Liverpool against Hearts. And Liverpool leading 1-0 from the first match. Hearts on their change strips. The white shirts with the maroon trim. And the nerves must be jangling as David Templeton and Arvydas Novikovas stand over the ball. Steven Gerrard at the ready. There's a referee who is from Russia and is about to sound this decisive leg into action. The winners of the tie will go into the draw for the group stage to be made at the Grimaldi Forum in Monaco tomorrow. The Hearts players would love to be able to get on with it. They'll get their wish any second now. It's a clear night, a perfect night for football on Merseyside. And Heart of Midlothian will be playing towards the famous Kop in the first 45. Away we go from Corgi Road a week ago to Anfield Road tonight. Liverpool, who did just enough at Edinburgh, will be disappointed if they don't do more than enough in this return leg. Hearts are here just to be cannon fodder. It's a much changed Liverpool team. Any of the big guns in comparison with the team that we saw in the first match. Returning for Brendan Rodgers. Running of Zaniukas, captain of Hearts, not taking any chances. Has been declared fit. Was it a bit of doubt because of a dead leg? Jamie Carragher. That's the record for European appearances amongst Liverpool players. 43rd match in Europe. There's young Adam Morgan, 18 years of age. Looked excellent on the North American tour a few weeks ago. He's come through the academy. He's a local lad.
I thought that was a free kick actually for Hearts there. I thought young Morgan kicked Webster. The referee didn't spot it. No real complaint from Hearts. But I think if I was a Hearts player, Derek, and I wanted Steven Gerrard to be playing, and I wanted Suarez to be playing, and I wanted some of these bigger guys, Allen, all the guys that played against Man City, because you want to test yourself. You want to come here and play against the top players.
John Sutton leading the line for Hearts. The brother of Chris. Spent a few years himself in Scottish football with Celtic. Chris Sutton. Mifty Tawil, French-born, qualifies for Morocco. Good technician in midfield for Hearts. Zaniukas, captain, helping to load into Scottish Cup success last season. Liverpool trying to come away with the ball. Jordan Henderson. Stuart Downing operating at left back. It's an entirely new position for him.
Well, I think he needs a big performance. I mean, it wouldn't have done his confidence any good to see a young 17-year-old selected ahead of him for the big game that was here at the weekend, Sunday, Man City. So he'll know he needs to really get his finger out, Stuart Downing. He's a good player, but playing here in front of this Anfield crowd under that pressure can do all sorts for some players' confidence.
Carragher, the man from Bootle. Downing. Carragher's central defensive partner is Martin Skrtel. Mixed bag for Skrtel at the weekend against Manchester City. Scored a goal, but then thinking back to the City equaliser. It was an encouraging performance, though, from Liverpool, you've got to say, Craig.
It was, and it was the second time in 2 games Skrtel had given he gave a goal away, gave a penalty away at West Brom. He'll be hoping it's third time lucky. But it was I thought it was an excellent performance from Liverpool. Really just didn't take full advantage of it, but passed it superbly well. I mean, Allen's stats in midfield for his pass completion was just terrific.
Luis Suarez does have the capacity to make this game of football look ridiculously simple at times. John Joe Shelby. The width provided by Downing. Suarez drifting over to the left flank. It's Tawil for Hearts. Patterson, the 17-year-old, waiting on the right-hand side of midfield. Ryan McGowan, the Aussie, is at right back. On throw from McGowan, it's Patterson. A little bit of swerve on that.
Well, found himself in a nice little pocket here for the throw-in. Started the season at right back, but his preferential position is to play further forward. And well, that's the lack of communication between centre-halves and midfield there, and well worth the effort. Wasn't the worst of efforts.
Suarez. Something good for Liverpool, Martin Kelly. Turns it to Suarez. Following his way through the Uruguayan. Corner to Liverpool.
Well, he's like a slippery eel in the box, isn't it? I mean, you've got to handle him with so much care. I mean, how many times do we see him getting away from players in positions you think there's no way out of that, but he does it against the top defenders. He's only just got to stick it in the back of the net. That's the only thing he hasn't done on a regular basis.
Steven Gerrard tasked with taking it. Quite big out the head of Suarez. Carragher a bit wayward. Brendan Rodgers, his first season in charge of Liverpool. Analytical type. Certainly not taking the Europa League lightly. Donald in goal for Hearts tonight again, the 26-year-old.
Well, I know how Brendan Rodgers will be saying this. I mean, he's played some of his big guns. They've got a big game at the weekend, Arsenal. So they'll be wanting to get this game put to bed sooner rather than later. Now, that's no disrespect to Hearts. That's just the way they'll see it. What Hearts have got to do is make sure that doesn't happen and affect the game at the other end. But there's no way I want Suarez, Gerrard and Elect to be playing 90 minutes or more. That's a bad one. Yeah. That's a booking. That's got to be a booking.
Well, it was Adam Morgan in his first competitive start as a Liverpool player. Novi Kovas, the Lithuanian youngster, was on the receiving end. And he's been a bit lucky here, Morgan.
Well, I'm sorry, but, you know, we need, in football, you need consistency in decision-making. And youngster or not, that had to be a yellow.
Not for customer, John Sutton. Tangling that time with Skirtle. He's got a couple of goals in 5 matches this season, both penalties. St Johnstone and Inverness Caledonian Thistle in the Clydesdale Bank Premier League.
Nice to see a big following from Hearts, isn't it? Full house, full end for the Gorgie boys, and they've had a good time by the sounds of it in the way in. There was singing and enjoying themselves. I think they've certainly made a day or a couple of days of it down here in Liverpool.
Many of them attended the Everton match last night. Thrash Leyton Orient. Kovas did well. David Templeton, intriguing young player. Certainly has pace and confidence. He was bothered by injuries last season, Templeton, but he has genuine ability. Away by Skirtle. Liverpool the big favourites, but they know once again they cannot underestimate Heart of Midlothian.
David Templeton's just going to float in that little role that you mentioned, and Joe Allen will be tasked with trying to pick him up as well as getting on the ball, so he's got to make Allen's life as difficult as he can. Of course, he has got a job as well, Templeton, is getting back in and helping his midfield four, so he's got to find the balance.
Skirtle on the ground. Just a bit shaken up. 50th European appearance for Martin Skirtle from Slovakia. Here's Carragher. And Downing. Joe Shelby releasing Stuart Downing. Patterson trying to get back. Splendid ball that comes on Morgan. No handball apparently. Andy Webster solves the problem for Hearts and needed to.
How can that not be a handball? He sees it late, albeit comes over the defender's head. It was a super move from Liverpool. And what, you know, is he gaining? Are they gaining an advantage, Liverpool, by that? Then the answer is yes. The referee went to give a free kick, went to put the whistle to the mouth and didn't do it. With no harm done in the end, but great move. Nice one-touch football down this left-hand side. Just got Downing away.
Maybe a new lease of life for Stuart Downing as left back. We shall see. Skirtle. Nonson's challenge. Well, it's been open and lively. 0-0 on the night. 1-0 to Liverpool on aggregate. Danny Granger will step forward to take the throw. From just outside Penrith in Cumbria. Kovas going down just as he tried to release the ball. John McGlynn, his first season in charge of Hearts, and who has served his coaching apprenticeship. Worked as youth coach, assistant coach at Hearts. And the Heart of Midlothian supporters fully behind him. An amount of choreography there. Roger will try once more. Novi Kovas. One for Downing to judge. He's very taken with the atmosphere at Tynecastle last week, Stuart Downing.
You and I have always said it's a great atmosphere at Tynecastle, and whenever we go to do games, it doesn't mean our reception's any better. Just
speak for yourself.
I just call that a good atmosphere.
Darren Barr flicking it in. Shot from Patterson. Now Tawil. Showed too much of the ball to Steven Gerrard. Garrett's header. Stuart Downing. Joe Shelby. Let's carry on. And McGowan into reverse. Webster forward. Webster in the Scotland squad for the forthcoming matches against Serbia and Macedonia. Shelby is cushioning the ball for Downing. Carragher should be comfortable for McGowan. Skintle called upon. He's trying to keep the pressure high on Downing. Shot from Suarez. Didn't quite work out. He had Henderson to his left.
Yeah, I mean, Henderson's a player who, you know, the one thing he couldn't be accused of last year in his first year was a lack of effort. His graft was superb. It's his industry that I think was a little bit of a problem, and it's not easy when it's your first year, but certainly I think graft alone under the current manager, Brendan Rodgers, is just not going to be enough for the likes of young Henderson.
Downing. Joe Allen. He started his Liverpool career promisingly. Shelby. Kelly, the outlet on the right once again for Liverpool. Suarez. Almost nonchalantly. Offside flag had gone up. Morgan had straight. He's come to every Hearts match. Vladimir Romanov. Hearts owner, but he's here tonight.
Well, they don't play at Anfield every week, that's why.
Off the head of young Patterson. Skirtle. Sparring stages in this second leg. No scoring on the night. Carragher all the way forward to Downing. Stranger to that position near the byline. Oh, it's a wonderful ball, and Morgan's header, and Suarez. Well, he thought it was going in.
Well, first and foremost, I mean, obviously the cross gets played in far too easily because I think young Patterson sells himself. Between him and McGowan, they're just playing a bit narrow. But once it's nodded back across here, I think Webster's going to challenge for this. He just watches it at the back post. He's got to try and get off the ground there, Webster, and put Suarez under a bit of pressure. He does nothing. And in the end, Hearts managed to clamber it away.
Gerrard with the corner. Pushed away by McDonald. Only as far as Shelby. Patterson. Downing, the £20 million signing from Aston Villa. And Tynecastle at left back for the last 30 minutes after coming on for Jack Robinson. Opportunity for Morgan this evening. A brief cameo in the first leg. Starting for the first time in a competitive match here at Anfield. his way forward. And he skews it into the cup. And some of the newcomers are here. Liverpool newcomers, Nuri Sahin, of course, signed on loan from Real Madrid, and Usama Asaidi, who's otherwise ineligible to take part tonight. So much changed Liverpool. It's going to have a very different look, this team. It's going forward, and that's the way Brendan Rodgers wants it.
Well, I think the one thing we shouldn't get away from here and get caught up in is that we know he wants to pass it, Brendan Rodgers, but Liverpool have always passed the ball. It's always been the theory. They've always wanted to do it. They always have done it. So, in that sense, not a great deal changes. It might just be that they're going to have to take one or two more risks at the back, and maybe they're going to get caught out on the odd occasion. But they've always passed it, Liverpool. It's in the makeup. It's in the DNA. It's end product Brendan Rodgers will have to get at the end of the day. That will take time.
Has seen a lot of the ball in the opening 17 minutes. Suarez, Kelly, and Steven Gerrard. Suarez always seems to have that free role in attack, license to drift. Allen.
Oh, I like this lad. I think he's going to be a star. I mean, I know it's early, but I just think he's such a super player, Joe Allen.
And Skirter looking for passing options, finds Downing. John Joe Shelby. Suarez. Once again, the Hearts players doing their jobs at the back. Well, he might be Welsh, but Brendan Rodgers thinks there's something of the Spanish player about him. Here's Suarez. Inquiry about handball. A serious shout from Suarez.
No, it was so close, couldn't do anything about it. And it's one of those where it just sort of ricochets up. I think it was half-hearted penalty appeal there. No, we're doing nothing about that.
Andy Granger. The arm tucked in. Kevin McDonald, who became a dad just hours before the first leg at Tynecastle. Joe Cole, who was on loan at Lille last season. Charlie Adam amongst the spectators. Has he played his final game for Liverpool, we wonder?
Well, the signs would suggest yes. His move to Anfield would be a short-lived one, I would imagine.
So it's going to be a very intriguing Friday over at Melwood. On the transfer front. It's pass. Lefty Tawil. Already Kovas. And it comes to Tawil. He's looking for clean contact. Newcastle United are in front. There's Promitos on the night, 2-1 on aggregate. There's 20 minutes gone. Craig, what have you made of it so far?
Well, I think Hearts will be quite content, actually. I mean, lots of possession for Liverpool, most of it in front of Hearts. A couple of efforts, you know, from Hearts' point of view. I think young Patterson with a volley, and then Tao there with a strike from a decent position after a good knockdown from John Sutton. Didn't catch the shot, but I think, as it says on the tin, as you'd expect, I mean, Liverpool will dominate this game. That'll be no surprise. And Hearts' job's to make it difficult for them to break down, and when they do win it, just try and hit on the counter, and that's how it's sort of panning out at the moment.
Same scenario for Liverpool. When you go back to the last round, managed to win the away leg against Gomel of Belarus. 1-0 margin, having been outplayed at times. That's the case in Gorgie as well. Safely through, 3-0 in the return match against Gommel, 4-0 in aggregate. Suarez, it's his control, deserts him. 17 goals in 39 matches last season. Hearts are entitled to feel happy that no further damage has been inflicted. It was surely priority number one. Make sure they don't find themselves out of the tie early in the second leg. They're still very much in it. Joe Allen, Martin Kelly. It's Tawiel. Across the defence. Andy Webster, scorer of the own goal in the first match. Anderson all the way back to Carragher. Liverpool yet to concede in Europe this season. 6 clean sheets in the last 7 matches in continental competition. Gerrard. There's Henderson. Suarez showing for it. Still trying to stay with him. Gerrard. A long way out. Zaliukas got in the way. It's his fellow Lithuanian Novi Kovas who fires the ball out of play. Joe Shelby, England under-21 international, could technically qualify for Scotland should he wish to change his allegiance. Gerrard, for that 50-50. So Newcastle now he has to get back swiftly to Kelly, right across the face of goal. Shelby wanted it played to him.
Yeah, just a lack of composure really from Kelly once he gets in there. I mean, Zaliukas actually did well, stepped out and nicked it from Steven Gerrard. It could have fallen to a Hearts player, it didn't. It meant he was sort of sucked out of position, but I think that's the difference you get when you've got somebody like Glenn Johnson down that side. He just gives you that little bit of composure from the full-back position. He's quite often finds the target, Johnson, in terms of goals, cutting in from the right-back position, but yeah, it was a bit of a disappointing cross to say the least.
Johnson amongst the Liverpool substitutes tonight. John McGlynn taking the walk towards the edge of the technical area. Passionate manager. So they breed them in Wallingford.
Take your word for that.
Just ask Jim Jeffries. He's from there as well. Downing. Allen. There's a tidy quality to Allen's play. £2 million the transfer fee. Swansea to Liverpool. Brendan Rodgers said he would have made a few millions more.
I bet Swansea are kicking themselves then, aren't they? Well, I've got to say, I didn't think Manchester City played them very well at the weekend. The shape that City set out suited Liverpool. I think they exploited it, and I thought Allen was superb, along with Gerrard and Shelvey, who come on for Lucas after Lucas' early injury. I thought John Joe Shelvey looks a really tidy player at times as well. But at the moment, McDonald in that Hearts goal hasn't really had. There's been one scare from the header from Suarez at the back post when Webster didn't really make an attempt to go for it. Apart from that's been it. So 25 minutes in, happy days, I think, if you're following the Edinburgh side.
It's a very composed start by Hearts. William McGowan. William McGowan's brother Dylan is on the bench this evening. Good flick on by Templeton, Patterson, and Sutton. Down goes Patterson inside the box. The referee saw nothing wrong.
Well, my initial instinct was there was no real attempt from Carragher to make a challenge there. I think it was more disappointing he couldn't get a first touch there. Gets a first touch and he's got a strike away.
He's trying to knock on the Liverpool door again. Speculative shots. John Sutton. Maybe Kovas getting in his way though.
Well, it was good play from Sutton because he's backing in there. There's no attempt. Yeah, he's caught him there, but he's actually trying to jump out the way, Jamie Carragher. That's not a penalty for me.
Vladislav Bezborodov from Russia is the match referee. Liverpool motoring forward. And Morgan. And McDonald smothering stop. He's got there in the nick of time.
Yeah, just bounced, just dipped in front of him and popped off his chest, but did really well, as you say, because Gerrard was coming in. Always difficult for a goalkeeper in that scenario.
Sutton sees the free kick decision go his way. Carragher can't believe it. Carragher, who helped Liverpool win this cup back in 2001, went under a different name. David Templeton to deliver. He's been linked with quite a few clubs in the last day or so, including Rangers. Good free kick it was. Webster arriving. It was a painful one.
Initially I thought it was the head, but it's not. It's the side. Jamie Carragher's landed on his side and he's still having a little natter with the referee, who had a decision to make. The decision was no penalty. I think Carragher's trying to get out of the way here. I think he's trying. I don't think there's any attempt to make a challenge. Yeah, there's a little bit of contact, but no, not for me, not a penalty.
Certainly would have been a big decision taken by referee Mr. Bezborodov. Henderson went down in front of the cop. Carragher. Pepe Reina. Turns 30 tomorrow. Reina. Shelby running into McGowan. There's Nobi Kovas. Pretty elusive. Unpredictable though. Kelly. Just running out of space. So far, so good for Hearts, you've got to say. John McGlynn has a youthful bench. Gary Locke there alongside him, former Hearts player. With a header. Suarez gives it back to Steven Gerrard. And a cut sway through the Hearts defence. The Liverpool captain foiled by Jamie McDonald. An important stop it was.
Yeah, great save there. And again, following on from his superb performance at Pittodrie. Wonderful save. Too easy for Gerrard, that though.
McGowan trying to stay with Suarez. Hearts very much on the back foot for most of that game against Aberdeen that you mentioned.
Yeah, this is just too easy here to get through. A bit flat-footed, Andy Webster there, I think. Gets caught out in positions like that, but that's an excellent save. You can see what Gerrard was trying to do, just sort of dink it over the top of him.
Well, plays it back to Reina. Song being belted out. And the visiting supporters away to our left. Field road end of the ground. Suarez. Gerrard, Suarez. Too much on it for Shelby.
Well, I think for an opposing goalkeeper, you'd be expecting a busy evening. He does what he should do. He stays big, tries to stay as tall as he can, as he has to go to ground, obviously, but the arms are out. And that would have pleased the supporters.
Just a quick reminder, coming up on ESPN on Saturday from 4:30 in the Barclays Premier League, it'll be Manchester City against Queen's Park Rangers. And then on Sunday, in the Iron Brew Scottish Football League 3rd Division, Rangers up against the league leaders Elgin, who start at 4 on Sunday. David Templeton, as we mentioned, has been linked with Rangers.
Well, they need a bit of spark. We watched them last week at Berwick.
Curvas slipping just as he tried to control the ball. Would it be the right move for a player like Templeton at the age of 23 to pop down into the Scottish 3rd Division?
Who knows? You never know as a player if you're doing the right thing. Sometimes it's just instinct. Not ideal, I know, to be playing in the Scottish Football League down Division 3, I know that. It's a big club, it'll be on its way back at some point. It's inevitable, it will happen sooner rather than later. There's some sort of contradiction in that statement after Sunday, isn't there? I mean, between the two Rangers, it was quite difficult to see which Rangers they were trying to catapult back into the SPL, if I'm being honest. I've been harsh.
It was, based on what we saw.
It was hanging on at the end, wasn't it, for Neil Alexander making saves, and there was a goal chopped off. We heard Ali McCoy's talking about it. He wasn't happy. They've got to do better. Anyway, back at the ranch here.
This Europa League playoff round, second leg. Kelly. Gone bursting towards the box. Suarez. Continues his run, Luis Suarez. Oh, and it's Morgan who takes it home. But it's not going to count. The 18-year-old denied the chance to open his account in his first competitive start.
Yeah, flag went up straight away. Linesman's given this decision. He's absolutely choked the lad. It's gone out, and that's what he's given. He's not up with play, the linesman. The referee's assistant, call him what you like. He's not level, but he's got a good view of it. And, well, the young lad absolutely choked, but it did look as if it was over. Linesman's position wasn't great.
Well, the officials tonight hail from Russia. Ryan McGowan. His debut for Australia recently against Scotland in Edinburgh at Easter Road on his 23rd birthday. Darren Barr has reinvented himself as a midfield player. Barr, a former Falkirk man.
Well, now look, closer look to see if the whole ball was over. It was difficult to tell, and I tell you, how the assistant spotted it from over there when he wasn't looking straight across was difficult to see. A little bit of afters there with Suarez and Webster.
Yuri Kovas. Granger. Gerrard. Deal from Suarez was to give it back to the Liverpool skipper, David Templeton. Can be a real handful from this sort of position. Nothing wrong with that ball. Sutton slightly off balance.
Well, it's a super ball from Zaljukas just to set Templeton away there. And he's got Novi Kovas behind him. He may have got a shout, I don't know. He certainly, I thought, was always on the stretch, but Templeton does look as if there is going to be a provider, it will be him. And it's tangible for Hearts, isn't it? It's something tangible to hang on to this.
Remember the time, Craig, when David Templeton really announced himself to a wider public. Almost 3 years ago, playing for Hearts against Celtic. Came off the bench in the closing stages. Provided a telling ball for Ismail Bouzi to get home. It turned out to be the winner.
Yeah, but he's 23 now, Derek. He's got to push on. He's got to push on now. He's not a young laddie anymore.
Henderson, Suarez, Gerrard, Suarez. And a back from Granger into the clutches of McDonald.
Feels a cucumber.
Must have looked poised. Not overawed in the slightest. Field can certainly intimidate any visiting side in European competition. McGowan. Barr. And goes down Barr. David Henderson has to keep going. It's a bit messy. Tawiel on the ground. Here's Suarez. Oh, Zaniukas. Crucial intervention.
It was I think another dreadful decision by the Russian referee in front of us. I thought it was a poor challenge from Henderson on Tawiel. John McGlynn was straight on his feet. I thought he went through the Hearts player to get the ball.
Morgan. So made it just a bit nervy for Liverpool. Carragher. Downing. Trying to get goal side of Patterson. Here's Suarez. His cleverest moment. Templeton. Too strong for Sutton. Gerrard. Good tempo about this first half. Good touch by Suarez.
His touch is not quite there this evening so far, is it? I mean, that could change in a flash, couldn't it, with Suarez and his quality, but he doesn't have to try and overcomplicate it. This is suiting Hearts. The game's not stretched. If the game gets stretched, I think Hearts will have problems. As long as they're compact, pick and choose the moments to go forward, intermittent moments, then, you know, they've got a nice little base and they've been quite solid.
Kelly. Lucas taking care of the situation. It's back by Allen.
Yeah, I think off the surface there, Joe Allen taking the sliding option. Played the ball. So Lucas on his feet, not a problem.
From the Hearts' point of view, it's all a far cry from what happened last season against Tottenham. Beaten before things properly got going. The first leg at Tynecastle.
Yeah, it must have been awful going to White Hart Lane, 5-0 down.
It was a creditable performance by the Jambos at White Hart Lane, but nothing really to play for. Different story here.
Well, Harry Redknapp played the reserves, didn't he? That was part of it. He hasn't done tonight, Brendan Rodgers, because it's a very narrow lead and a lot of the big guns are out. Yes, he's got a strong bench, I know that. But Gerrard plays, Suarez plays, Allen, Shelvey, Skirtle, Downing in.
Matty Tawiel. Played under Jim Jeffries at Kilmarnock. Well, making the move for him to Hearts. Here's Templeton. Didn't middle it.
Well, actually, some of these positions that they've found about sort of 20 yards out of Hearts, the ball sat up very well for them. They just rushed that volley. That was an excellent opportunity for young Templeton there, but just, you know, just that little bit of composure.
Five minutes remaining in the first half. Blank score sheet in the second leg. Liverpool 1 to the good, following on from what happened at Tynecastle. Kelly steers it back to Skirtle. Barr's gone over there, trying to deal with any potential threat. Shelvey.
the slip.
Carragher. And Gerrard. Here's Kelly trying to time his run to perfection. Fine piece of defending by Novi Kovacs, who got back there.
Yeah, excellent wide play that, isn't it? Just as the full-back tucks in, the ball inside, and it's an excellent ball, and that's super work back from Novi Kovacs there. That's what you'd be expecting of your wide player, rolling the sleeves up.
Gerrard with it. Clearance from McGowan. Templeton trying to get the break of the ball. We'll have to pay attention. Sutton's pass. David Templeton. Jamie Carragher barring the way to goal. And Patterson. So lapse in concentration. Free kick to Hearts. Here they are, making Liverpool think.
Well, actually, they didn't make the most of that, and that tackle from Carragher was the last-ditch one on Templeton. Had he just nicked it past him, he was away. A couple of Hearts players get in each other's way, actually, in the edge of the box, and Jamie Carragher rushed out and was a little bit late, so it's presented itself in a decent position. Probably too far out for a strike here, unless you're really feeling lucky.
Danny Granger and David Templeton. Two players in the vicinity. It's going to be Templeton. Quite find the head of Zaliukas. Did Hearts overcommit at the set piece, I wonder. Gerrard. Here's Morgan. That lung-busting run. It's Morgan's turn to try to keep it in. Can breathe again. Understand that they wanted to get as many bodies forward as possible. Last free kick.
Yeah, you should find yourself in that position from your own set piece, if I'm being honest with you. A little warning sign for them.
Timing. Still cooking it. Webster. Skirtle. Shelby. Early on at the weekend, Shelby for the injured Lucas Leiva. Likely to be out for as part of 3 months, having just come back from injury, serious knee injury. Thigh problem now, where Lucas is concerned. Shelby's pass, offside, Suarez. Well, we have breaking news to bring you here on ESPN. We can confirm that Liverpool striker, as he was, Andy Carroll, has joined West Ham United on a season-long loan. That has been confirmed by Liverpool Football Club.
See, I'm surprised at that. I'm not surprised because it's been in the papers and it's been common knowledge, but I'm surprised because when your passing game isn't working and you need a plan B and a plan C, then the old adage of getting it wide and whipping it in the box will come home to bear some fruit at times, and I think he gives that option. Anyway, listen, that's a decision for Brendan Rodgers. I think West Ham have got to sell a good player. Suarez is offside here, and it's been a very good first half for Hearts, I've got to say.
The Jambos will be delighted. They have acquitted themselves superbly. Adam Morgan, his first competitive start for Liverpool, had the ball in the back of the net, but the decision was that it had gone out of play just prior to that. Needless to say, the teenager was bitterly disappointed. But the Hearts supporters, in good voice, will it stay that way? On the night, Liverpool 0, Hearts 0, on aggregate still 1-0 to Liverpool.
Welcome back to Anfield. Liverpool 0, Hearts 0 is the half-time score in the Europa League playoff underway at Anfield. Time to hand back to Craig Burley and Derek Ray. Liverpool 1-0 winners in Edinburgh last Thursday.
Thanks again, Ray. It will be Liverpool going from left to right in the second half, as they like to do. The second 45 playing towards the Kop. No sign of any half-time substitutions. Jonjo Shelvey using Martin Skirtle. Frustration for Liverpool in the first half. They're trying to take the game to Hearts. The SPL side resilient at the back. Jamie McDonald with a couple of very important stops. Hearts had a shout for a penalty. Would have been soft had it been given. Callum Patterson going down inside the box. Liverpool had the ball in the back of the net. Young Adam Morgan. It was ruled that the ball had already gone out of play. Who grew up in Cumbria supporting a team who wear red in Manchester United. Webster out to Patterson. It's a sign of the times for Hearts that the younger players are getting their opportunity. The same Hearts team that performed in Gorgie a week ago. Henderson was competing for it. Suarez. Zamiukas trying to get a piece of the ball. Suarez, Downing's throw. Webster holding his ground. Tawiel. Free kick to the visitors. Just to repeat the news from earlier, Andy Carroll will be joining West Ham United on a season-long loan. There will be an option for them to buy Andy Carroll thereafter. Been heading that way for a few weeks. Sutton didn't quite get there for Hearts.
Message from Mr. Kevin Lyman to contact the nearest steward, please.
Well, draw would see Liverpool make it through to the group stage of the UEFA Europa League. Skirtle. Morgan towards Gerrard. So Gerrard pretty well shackled in this game. Barr. Round of applause from the Liverpool supporters, appreciating his contribution in midfield. Morgan. Gerrard's touch on to unleash Suarez on Webster and company.
Yeah, it's that little link-up, I think, that Brendan Rodgers will be looking for, those little triangles. Where the players are 4 or 5 yards from each other, little 1-2s with Gerrard and Suarez, and run the corner balls, which are very difficult to defend. There wasn't enough of that from Liverpool's point of view.
Gerrard with it. Skirtle was available at the near post. Webster with it.
Terrible marking near post. There's no shield. There's no shield at this near post here. There's a man sort of half on the post, half not. There's nobody guarding the 6-yard box. That 6-yard box at the front, you cannot leave that area. You cannot let somebody just get in there. It's a recipe for disaster.
Gerrard. Rivers couldn't reach it. The shot was by Shelvey. Certainly doing their bit for the SPL. time. You never know. Able to nick a goal. Stranger things have happened in football. Templeton. John Sutton. Templeton. To play off the cuff. And he can. Joe Allen was sticking to his task. Morgan. Carragher. Has Kelly to his right. Instead goes the other way. Suarez. They're on the flank. John Joe Shelby. A million miles off target.
No, well, Hearts have plenty behind the ball here, so it's difficult to thread a pass. It's almost a through the eye of the needle pass. Jordan Henderson had made a little run, but it's not a bad strike from John Joe Shelby.
Jamie McDonald through the Hearts youth ranks. Into John McGlynn. A couple of loan spells at Queen of the South. Fighting for it. Joe Allen. Gerrard. Templeton quite have the height. Trying to keep things ticking over. Morgan's available inside the box. Sam Newcastle with the header away. Joe Allen, Luis Suarez. Morgan offside. Yesil has joined Liverpool, signed today from the German club Bayer Leverkusen, now managed by the former Liverpool defender Sami Hyypiä. 18.
Hasn't got the club tie yet, has he? Obviously.
Give him time.
Got the club hoodie. Another fresh face for the Liverpool faithful to look at some point, the youngster.
Timber's pass. Too strong for Templeton. Darren Barr. Templeton's going to hold back against Henderson. It's very scrappy. And Levante have scored against Motherwell to make it 3-0 on aggregate now. From Gekas on 72 minutes. It was already a difficult task for the Steelmen in Spain. As things stand, Scotland won't have a representative in the Europa League. Celtic, of course, made it through to the group stage of the Champions League.
Yeah, what a group they've pulled out, eh? Celtic, goodness, doesn't get much tougher.
Barcelona, Benfica, Spartak Moscow. It's not going to worry Reyna. It's in by McGowan. Programming notes for you. A reminder that's coming up on ESPN this weekend. On Saturday, it'll be Manchester City against Queen's Park Rangers, a bit like going home for Mark Hughes. We're on the air from 4:30. And then on Sunday, we'll be in Scotland for Rangers against Elgin City. Elgin currently the league leaders in the 3rd division. 4 o'clock, our starting time. Suarez. Gerrard. There's Kelly. Trying to keep the Hearts defenders off balance. Henderson is the player making that run through the middle. There we go. The footsteps of Sutton.
Yeah, it's been pretty much one-way traffic since the start of the second half. It's gone 10 minutes now, and Hearts are struggling to get any ball retention whatsoever. It's gone up towards Sutton and it's coming straight back. It's a difficult old roll from there unless he gets something that he can hang on to.
Henderson. Kelly. Took up his position on the right. Kovas. Full credit to Hearts in both matches. I think played above themselves. For Liverpool. Downing, and Morgan was in there, and it comes off Granger. It's Webster's header.
Yeah, I think that's the kind of perfect position where if he gets that and finds that bit of space, where you've got an Andy Carroll type character.
Suarez doing it on his own. And the tackle came in from Granger. McGowan. More even in the first half, you've got to say.
Well, I think as the game goes on, it does become more difficult because the more you chase the ball, and Liverpool have had the bulk of possession, you know, the legs get a bit tired and a bit heavier, and that's what will happen for these Hearts lads. But it's about hanging in there. It's about not losing your shape and becoming disorganised, which they haven't. In all fairness to them to that.
Short, sharp passes from Liverpool, and it's Downing. It's another wasted opportunity. Brendan Rodgers. He wants to do things his way, has his own ideas about football. As outlined in a very detailed manifesto, which certainly impressed Liverpool's American owners.
It was a 180-page document, wasn't it? It took him 15 years apparently to put together. That's patience for you, isn't it?
Skirter with a header. It's Shelby. Allen. First official meetings these between Liverpool and Hearts. Zayukas for the Jambos.
Yeah, they're not outpaced Zayukas. They've got a chance of doing it to Webster, I think, more so than Zayukas on this side. But the pressure, Derek, is just mounting now. Liverpool just trying to strangle any life out of Hearts. Obviously hugely important that Hearts don't lose anything here. I think trying to claw back a couple of goals is going to be hugely difficult. I think the chance maybe to get one is still there.
Latest corner for Adam Morgan.
I don't like this marking at the near post at all. I don't like the way Hearts have set up here. I just think it's a recipe for disaster with a decent ball in.
Gerrard again. Skirtle is pointing towards the corner flag, optimistically.
Well, we might be seeing the youngster who, I've got to say, I thought did, for 17 years old, in a massive game against Man City there, I thought he did fantastically well.
He was also superb last week in the first leg at Tynecastle, Raheem Sterling. You don't want to get too carried away, do you, when a player comes into the side and makes an impact? You Doesn't look the part. Tawil. Novi Kovas. A shuffle from the Lithuanian. It's got Granger. Looked like a shot by Shelby. Templeton. Did a good ball here from Novi Kovas. Didn't get it. Downing. Strong challenge from Patterson. Scotland under 19 international. Product of Tynecastle Boys Club. So many have come through the ranks at Tynecastle Boys Club. Morgan. Suarez, will he get there? Zaliukas with a header back. McDonald forced into action. The free kick decision has gone the way of Hearts.
Well, you're not allowed to challenge goalkeepers, you know that, and I think he's more than entitled to go for this. Again, it can only be the left arm of Luis Suarez there, but there's always going to be contact.
And it's going to be Raheem Sterling coming on for Adam Morgan. Both great adverts for the Liverpool Youth Academy. There's a bit of daring about Sterling. The jet-heeled striker. Morgan did have the ball in the net. But the goal wasn't given. The ball had gone out of play just prior to that.
Yeah, I'd like to have seen young Morgan play through the middle a little bit more. I think that's his more natural position. There's been some quotes attributed to the likes of Robbie Fowler and that. It said he's a natural finisher. He needs to work in his game outside the box. Of course he does. He's only a youngster, but I think high hopes for him as a what's to say, a fox in the box, a goal scorer.
Lovely ball by Shelby. Downing. Queuing up inside the box. Suarez.
See, why does he have to come back on inside there, Downing? He's down.
Oh, it's Tawil. He certainly put his goalkeeper McDonald under pressure.
You know, he's down the outside, Downing, and he wants to cut back onto his right foot when he's naturally just got to get it out his feet and whip it in.
The nimble Suarez. Advantage with Liverpool. Gerrard. Activity for Sterling. To the gloves of McDonald. He says thank you very much. Still 0-0 on the night.
Yeah, referee did well to play an advantage there. Zaliukas took one of the ribs. He's just suffering from now in the edge of his own box.
I mentioned Robbie Fowler, who knew how to finish with the best of them. Jason Lagatia in attendance as well. Chested down by Sutton, hasn't seen too much of the ball. Taken away by Allen, now Henderson. And Suarez onside. Luis Suarez couldn't apply the finishing touch.
You know what he's done
deflection
again?
Then off the post.
You know what he's done again? He's hit the post. He's onside. Granger plays him on. There's no doubt about that. Good decision from the officials. Now, Kenan Dalglish, if he's watching this, will just be thinking, goodness me, this guy could have got himself an extra 15 goals last season. The amount of times he was in this position, but he dilly-dallies, and again, for the umpteenth time, he hits the post.
Shelby this time with the corner. Doing the honours for Liverpool. Henderson. Carragher. Liverpool have certainly ratcheted things up a notch or two in the second half. Well, in judgment it was by Novi Kovas. Here's Suarez. Give it a hair old whack. But wide of the target again.
Well, Novi Kovas commits the cardinal sin here, and that's thinking the ball's going to go out. And well, for the second time in the space of, what, 30 seconds or a minute, he's in that similar position. This time he does pull the trigger. And I'm not blaming him for Kenny Dalglish losing his job, goodness me, but what I'm saying is, you know, it could have been so much different for Liverpool last year, the amount of chances this fella had.
Andrew Driver about to come on for Hearts. Sterling. It's under increasing pressure. Lovely run by Sterling. Wayward in the end, though.
Tricky little customer, obviously.
Substitution for Hearts.
He's got an option outside him. Just always under a little bit of pressure as John Sutton departs, so there will be a change of personnel up front, Derek.
Yes, Andrew Driver on for John Sutton. Driver who was born around 40 miles or so away from here in Oldham. Qualifies for Scotland as a result of having done his schooling north of the border. Barr. Towell. There's Granger. It's been a bit of adventure from Novi Kovas and Templeton, but Ireland did wonderfully well. Steven Gerrard striding forward with purpose. Raheem Sterling. It's trying to close ranks. It's Kelly. Zaliukas. Had an awful lot of defending to do.
Yeah, they just slung the young boy Patterson up front now, so he's getting some experience about playing a few different positions. There's no doubt about that. From right back when we saw him in the Edinburgh Derby.
Very versatile, Callum Patterson.
Yeah, can have its downfalls that as well, but it's a learning process as it is for a lot of these Hearts lads. From Liverpool's point of view, the one thing they have been guilty of, Derek, is when they've been in that position in the final third that they were there, Kelly's ball and just wasn't good enough.
We all wondered, though, didn't we, before a ball was kicked tonight, Craig, where was a Hearts goal coming from? Failed to score in 11 of their last 17 matches in European competition. Didn't travel particularly well last season, didn't score many goals on their travels either in the SPL. 15 and 19. Towell. Now Andrew Driver, having come off the bench, and desperately poor control. And Steven Gerrard made it look effortless. Henderson. Well, still, they have to be opportunistic. Henderson. Kelly. Tending to him was Novi Kovas. Henderson's pass. Sterling has the pace. McGowan away. Only as far as Luis Suarez. Gerrard takes aim. Whistling wide.
Yeah, I think McDonald was getting there, but I don't think Hearts have been too perturbed to see Liverpool pulling the trigger from this type of distance. You can see they've got a half-decent line across the back there, and they've got their midfield protecting in front, so they've got two decent banks there. And you know, a strike from 30 yards isn't a disaster for John McGlynn's side.
McGlynn went away to Raith Rovers to be a manager there. Led them to their first Scottish Cup semi-final for 47 years in 2010. To a whisker of promotion to the SPL the following year. Most people see him as the right man at the right time to steady the ship following the departure of Paulo Sergio at the end of last season after he had guided Hearts to victory in the cup final. Gerrard. Darren Barr. Never again making the run. Darren giving it to Shelby. Henderson. Suarez and McDonald succeeded in doing just enough. Now, Jamie McDonald spread eagle there.
Yeah, there's absolutely no intent here. In fact, it's excellent awareness from McDonald. I mean, he doesn't get hold of it and eventually, but he does enough by getting his body in there. And I think in trying to get out of the way, Suarez there to get over him, he's clattered him on the side of the head now. That's a bad one. That. Let's hope he's okay. As we speak, Suarez is trying to pull him up.
McGlynn has the utmost faith in Jamie McDonald. Shake it up maybe, but ready to continue. In the moon at Anfield. Beautiful clear night. The Hearts supporters thoroughly enjoying the Anfield experience, and why not? Sterling. Kovac has gone back there to help Danny Granger. Lazy run again from Raheem Sterling. A shout for a penalty. The referee says no. Suarez. And Gerrard. McDonald was there.
Well, I think Granger's tackle's actually pretty good. That was my instinct anyway, just there. And then, well, you can't mess about with it there either, can you? And does he just get a foot on this? Certainly comes up the post, I think, anyway. And they're just having to batten down the hatches at the moment, Hearts.
Gerrard's corner for Liverpool. It's judged by Shelby. And away goes Ryan McGowan, Australian international. Templeton. It's promising just for a second. Rudy Kovac just stopped for a fleeting moment. Perhaps that was crucial when all was said and done.
Well, it wasn't his fault there. It was because he should have played it earlier. Just here he's got to play it first time. It was actually Templeton that hesitated, and that meant that he had to hesitate as well. Now going back to the challenge in here. Let's have another look at it. Super challenge from Granger. It had to be, and it was a penalty. But the referee was absolutely spot on. But he's a tricky little customer, isn't he?
Real potential. Raheem Sterling.
I've noticed they keep passing it to Reina, you know, the defenders back to him, and they don't pass it outside the width of the goal. They pass it to him between the posts, and I smell a recipe for disaster at some point there.
David Templeton. Steven Gerrard. Trying to give Liverpool a lift. Granger. Tawil. Gerrard the company.
I do think, Derek, if you're going to keep rattling it back to your keeper on a nice surface, a skippy surface with a bit of wet, a bit of rain on it, I'm telling you, you know what the keepers are like. One eye off the ball, under the foot, in the net. Mark my words.
Templeton looking for freedom on the left. North Kelly will be there to attack the ball for Hearts.
No, just not committing anybody from central midfield, barring Tao, they go forward. They just not go on the overcommit. I mean, they're going to have to at some point. What, 16, 17 minutes left, plus a bit of injury time.
But it is a magnificent showing by Heart of Midlothian. Just tonight, but over the two legs. Consider that their total wage bill is a fraction of that of Liverpool, fraction of that of any Barclays Premier League club. And punching well above their weight. Sterling. Strike fear in any defender. Raheem Sterling. Granger got the touch. Will be yet another Liverpool corner.
Well, what are you going to realise, going back to your point, is Hearts' wage bill for playing staff is probably less than one of Liverpool's top players. Yep. In fact, there's no probable about it. It will be.
Look at the man taking the corner down,
Gerrard.
Steven Gerrard. Yeah. Suarez. Downing. To Carragher. Shelby. Offside flag had been raised. Skirtle's header was in the illegal position though.
Yeah, good line there from Hearts. just say that's decent, maybe a bit risky, but you've got to take some chances.
That will be all for Arvidas Novikovas, and the replacement will be 18-year-old Dale Carrick. Striker will make his 4th appearance of the season. They've all been off the bench. For Liverpool, there will be a change as well. Fabio Borini has been going through his paces. The Italian for Jordan Henderson. More competitive appearances for Liverpool last season than any other player. Borini, Brendan Rodgers' first signing. Knows him well, of course, from the time working together with the Chelsea reserves and at Swansea City.
Yeah, I saw him play in the Championship for Swansea. Went back to Italy after that, made the Italian squad for the Euros, and knows what he's getting. Has brought him in here. Great opportunity for Borini. He's still only 21. But in an ideal world, as I was saying earlier, he'd have wanted to take Gerrard off and Suarez off at least before the weekend. But
handball by Dale Carrick. Can confirm that Motherwell are out of Europe. They have lost 1-0 away to the Spanish side Levante. They go out 3-0 on aggregate. So Hearts, Scotland's only hope in terms of the Europa League. 1-0 win for Hearts. Let's send this tie into extra time. Scenario that would give us extra time. However, back there with Downing. Goal kick. You need a goal, but no further than one of the all-time greats. And Rush certainly could bang them in. In all honesty, Craig, the Liverpool supporters arriving here tonight thought, after a hard game at Tynecastle, this would be something of a stroll?
I honestly don't know. I think they might have been hoping to see a few goals. Obviously, well, that goes without saying. Of course they would have, but you know, it's difficult to... I mean, the first game there was a lot of changes for Liverpool. I think it's been the stronger side tonight, so I would have expected them to cause Hearts more problems than they have, but in saying that, John McGlynn's side have been very well organised, and you've only got to give them credit for that. I mean, we're coming up to 80 minutes, and they're very much still in this tie. Just where they're going to get a goal from, though, is difficult to see. That's the only downside.
Lefty Towell. There's Carrick. A fabulous run. Allen with a challenge. It was clean, in the opinion of the Russian referee, Vladislav Bezborodov.
Come on, referee. He's got a great view there. He plays none of the ball, Allen, there. I think he's been pretty poor tonight, the official. I think there's not been that many big decisions, but there have been some silly little decisions where he's been right on it and he's just completely missed it. That's been one of them.
Used to play the game himself for Zenit and Dynamo Minsk. Went away to study sports management in the USA before embarking upon a refereeing career. Towell, Carrick. Flip to Mehdi Towell. Too much loss. Wasn't to be for Towell.
Well, opened up for him, but just never quite got it out his feet. But young Carrick looked lively since he's come on. There's no doubt about that. That's not troubling Rayner.
Liverpool supporters trying to get right behind their team. The Heart section has been noisy as well. It's fair to say the Heart song is one of the better ones amongst Scottish football clubs. Personal opinion, of course.
Yeah, don't you get off the fence, sunshine, in case you get accused of being biased.
Just said I enjoy their song.
Well, okay.
Here's Tawil. Gallagher was trying to stay tightly on to Carrick. Now, yellow card it had to be. Darren Barr. That was ungainly to say the least.
Rash. In saying that, it was no different to the challenge made on Novikovas in the first half by, I can't remember who it was that long ago, but you know, that's what I'm talking about, consistency. Why is it different when it's on 80 minutes than when it's on 5 minutes?
It looks so much more dramatic in slow motion, doesn't it?
I think it was Morgan, actually, the young lad that was challenging the first half, but it was no different whatsoever. The time of the game should matter.
Well, we have 9 minutes of normal time remaining. Gerrard. Sterling, a chance of getting there. Told Hearts before a ball was kicked, 81 minutes in. It would still be 0-0 on the night. They certainly would have taken that. Yes, they haven't really carried much of a threat in front of goal in the second half. But they've made their supporters happy. They'll be enjoying themselves on Merseyside long into the night. Come what may in the next few minutes. Allen. Gerrard has gone forward on the left as Allen tries to find him. Still Gerrard. Ryan McGowan. Watched by Robbie Hooker, one of the assistant coaches in the Australian national team. He's here tonight. He assesses his performances ahead of the Socceroos' next games against Lebanon and Jordan. Andrew Driver for Hearts. Bit of space for Templeton. Sterling. Free kick this time.
Well, you mentioned it, you know, just a minute ago. They've got into this position with less than 10 minutes to go. Very much still in the game. Now, this area now is danger zone area because Pepe Reina has to set his wall up in the position where he literally will have no view. And the choice will be there, left or right. And usually, in games like this, you get one moment, one opportunity. This may be it.
No two ways about it. Hearts have to make this count. Templeton and Granger.
He cannot see a thing, the goalkeeper here. Suarez scored from a similar position on Saturday at this end. Can it be Hearts' turn tonight?
Big moment of this game. Granger, deflection, corner.
Well, a little tentative, not a bundly pace on the ball. Big wall. Defended well, you're going to say.
Hearts at long last have a corner. In the 84th minute, first corner for Heart of Midlothian. Plenty of tall targets in there. Templeton to veer into position, and Reina couldn't hang on to the ball. What a massive maroon moment at Anfield. David Templeton receives the acclaim of his teammates. A nightmare for Pepe Reina. And could it be we're heading for extra time?
Well, they've hung in, and they've hung in, and they've dug in. And at times they've not had a lot of possession, but they've given themselves a chance. And have they taken it? Yes, it's a horror mistake. Yeah, it's an absolute nightmare. But Templeton, who's been a threat most of the night, at least hits the target. And I felt if a mistake was going to come, it would come with the feet of Pepe Reina. But one or two people are now starting to ask this guy questions. And that is a horror show. Hearts, very, very much in this game. Are we talking about a winner now, or are we talking about hanging on for extra time? Who knows?
You never know in this game. 1-0 to Heart of Midlothian on the night at Anfield. 1-1 on aggregate. Sterling with a tipping challenge from Granger, and he's gone into the book.
Yeah, he's gone through the back of Sterling here, so it's a no-brainer for the referee. But Hearts have just got to compose himself now. The blood will be pumping, the heart will be pumping, as it is with those supporters. But it's about clear heads now. Know your jobs, pick your man up, make sure you defend properly here.
Steven Gerrard, picture of concentration. The noise coming from the Hawks supporters away to our left. Eyes on Steven Gerrard. Managed to get players back. It was Darren Barr with a header, the important header. What Brendan Rodgers and company wanted to see. David Templeton. With that goal has etched his name in Heart of Midlothian folklore. Doesn't really matter what happens from this point on. Stunned. Joe Allen was under real pressure from Carrick and from Driver, and this is Tawil. The Hearts' tails are up. Gerrard. Should be gobbled up by Webster. McGowan. To keep hold of the ball. Now Liverpool's turn to go forward. Suarez. Webster went down initially. Zaliukas attending to Suarez, who scores! Relief for Liverpool. The Uruguayan puts it away. And it could well be the goal that secures their passage into the group stage of the Europa League.
Well, it's hard-take for Hearts, but I'm afraid when they took it in that corner, they've got to keep it down there. Then Webster slipped. Now, I think Zaliukas got him in a good position there. He's pushed him wide, but he can't let him get the strike away. He just cannot let him get the strike away here. I know he's scared to make the challenges, thinking penalty, and then you've got your keeper who's been excellent tonight. You're looking at the near post. A hammer blow for Hearts, but you give him an inch and he'll take a mile, Suarez, and it looks like it's good night and God bless.
A message on the shirt to his teammate Lucas Leiva. Be strong, Lucas, it said. For the next 3 months, it appears, with a thigh injury. Well, Hearts now, having climbed the mountain once, have to do it all over again. Second goal, remember, 2-1 win. We'll see Liverpool go out on away goals. Indications are we're going to have at least 3 minutes of added time. Carrick's moved into the centre. Driver's there. Templeton. Something to take a swing at it again. Gerrard. Hearts looking exposed. They knew they had to gamble. Gerrard. And he's told to get back up onto his feet by the Russian referee. Wasn't enthralling into this second leg. No chance of extra time now.
Well, it's a blow for Hearts, Derek, because they took the ball down in this right-hand corner and sort of gave possession away. And, well, when Liverpool went forward, Webster stepped out, but he slipped. and that puts Illukas under pressure one-on-one with Luis Suarez. And as I say, I thought he pushed him into a decent position when he pushed him wide, but he got the strike away, and well, it'll be gutting for the Hearts fans. And I think you've got to say, unconvincing from Liverpool.
It will be 3 added minutes. Suarez is bundled to the ground.
3 minutes added.
Andy Webster.
3 minutes.
Downing. Suarez. The driver's pass for Tawil. Henderson's in the centre forward position. Gallagher. Something to clatter the ball clear.
Well, I never thought we'd be stood here in injury time talking about Liverpool sort of hanging in there, and they're sort of hanging on to your lead.
David Templeton trying to scurry into position. He's got his own cause of power of good, David Templeton. Gerrard. Speedy Sterling in the middle. Behind for the corner. Webster.
Yeah, Gerrard's put a lot of miles in tonight. I don't think Arsenal will be too perturbed about that. As is Suarez, the goal scorer, well, the scorer of the second. And he's in no rush, is he?
It's still a work in progress. What's happening at Liverpool this season will take time. Downing. Taking the play by Carrick. Suarez. It will be one last chance perhaps for Hearts to get the ball forward.
Might as well send one of the centre backs, if not both of them, up now. Just sling them forward. Not going.
It is blown for full time. Only 2 minutes were added on. They've been promised 3, but Liverpool have made it through to the group stage of the Europa League. Hearts are broken for good, but my goodness, what a fight they put up. Luis Suarez with that all-important equaliser on the night for Liverpool after David Templeton had sent the Hearts supporters to the edge of heaven. The speculative shot that Pepe Reina had real trouble dealing with. The Hearts supporters are certainly going to enjoy themselves tonight here on Merseyside, even though their team must now bow out of European competition. It is finished on the night. Liverpool 1, Hearts 1. Liverpool progress 2-1 on aggregate.
And thanks to Derek Ray and to Craig Burley. Jim Jeffries and Didi Hamann watched the game on the commentary gantry here at Anfield. Jim, as a Heartsman through and through, you must be very proud of your team this evening.
I thought they were tremendous tonight. That's one of the best results they've ever had in their history. Coming down here to lose over 2 legs with an own goal speaks volumes for the players over the 2 legs.
Didi, what should we make of Liverpool's performance this evening? And what would you say to Liverpool fans that say we should have closed this game down, we should have made that a lot easier than it was?
They should have done there. The chances to go 1-2-0 up. They made it hard for themselves. Pepe Reina dropped the clanger again. It's a bad goalkeeping mistake, and in the end they're lucky not to have to go into extra time, because Hearts has been absolutely tremendous tonight. They probably deserve to take it into extra time.
Yeah, well played, Hearts. So Liverpool go through to the group stage of this season's Europa League, which kicks off in 3 weeks' time. And ESPN will bring you 2 live games from the first Europa League match, that on Thursday the 20th of September. The draw will be made tomorrow at midday. Reaction from the Liverpool and the Hearts dressing rooms is on the way. Liverpool go through, but not in the way they would have wanted to. Hearts have put in 2 terrific shifts. Liverpool needed Suarez to save the day. And more live football from across Europe here on ESPN this weekend. On Saturday night, Serie A, AC Milan got up to a terrible start last weekend, losing at home to Sampdoria. They hope to fare better at Bologna. Then on Sunday, action from the top flight of French football. Bordeaux play Nice from 12:45. And then on Sunday evening, back to Serie A, Inter Milan host Roma, plus all the weekend's goals from Italy's top flight. Our coverage kicks off at 7:15. Tonight at Anfield, Hearts made Liverpool really work for their victory in a Europa League playoff. The Jambos took the lead late in the game. Luis Suarez confirmed Liverpool are in the draw for tomorrow's group stage. First reaction from the Liverpool dressing room now. Here's Daryl Curry.
Well, Ray, thank you very much. Stuart Downing is with me now. An eventful night in the end. Should it have been a little more straightforward?
Well, we knew it was going to be a tough game. You know, we had one up in the Hearts, and obviously they brought a good form with them. They want to give something back for the fans. So we knew it was going to be tough, and I think we made a little bit more hard work than it should have been, really. Well.
Yeah, the longer the night went on, and when Suarez hit the post, did that element of doubt just creep in the mind?
Yeah, I think we were a little bit wasteful in front of goal tonight. Like I say, we need to be more clinical if we want to win games, and that's a lesson for us. And hopefully, you know, we'll save that for Sunday.
What was your mindset when David Templeton scored and Pepe Reina let that one slip through?
No, I think you just stay in the game and you know, keep playing the way the manager wants us to play. You know, not get nervous and keep passing the ball around. I think we covered well, and like I said, Lewis got a great goal for us. Was that the vital thing? The reaction right after that to not be phased? Yeah, I think the manager's stressing that into the team. You know, the reaction after if we go goal down or you know if we're under pressure. You know, keep playing the way we are. And like I say, I think we bounced back well. Same as City as well. You know, on the weekend, and some good signs. Yeah,
and also the number of chances you mentioned you're creating. It looks as if the system is working. There's no problem there.
Yeah, it was like last season as well. You know, we created a lot of chances, but we didn't finish. And the manager's stressing, you know, we have to be more clinical in front of goal if we want to, you know, do well in competitions or climb the league. And you know, that was a lesson for us. We need to be more clinical in front of goal. And as for you, a performance at left back, how was that? Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was good. It was good. Like I say, plenty of the ball, bit of defending to do, which I'm sure the manager would have, you know, liked. Got tested. I enjoyed it. It was a good game to play in, and like I say, we got through. That's amazing. What did he say to you before the game about that role? Is it vital to A, defend, but B, you've got to get forward the way the 4-3-3 system works? Yeah, just go out and enjoy it, and you know, get forward when I can, and you know, try and get balls in the box. But obviously, doing my job defending. You know, I thought I'd done okay tonight on that part, and hopefully, it puts me in contention for Sunday. Is this the future, left back? I'm not sure. I think that you'll have to ask the manager that. I'm happy to play weather as long as I play and, you know, and do well in the team. You know, that's the main thing. Appreciate your time tonight. Well done. No worries. Thank you.
Jeffries and Didier Mand watch Liverpool go through to the draw for the group stage of the Europa League. It's tomorrow in Monaco. So, are you satisfied with Liverpool's performance this evening, Didi?
Yeah, it wasn't the most convincing stuff. They had a good spell, 20-25 minutes in the second half where they needed to score, they didn't score, and then they made it hard for themselves. But you saw in the last 15-20 minutes that the team is still low in confidence. They lost the faith in passing the ball. They passed it with purpose for 20 minutes, and then they just stopped, and they were inviting pressure off Hearts, and they got punished with their goal. And in the end, they are a touch lucky to avoid extra time.
Jim, were you impressed with Liverpool this evening?
I thought, as Didier says, that you know, for 20 minutes, 25 minutes of the second half, they upped the tempo of the game. They created some great chances. I don't know how Suarez, when he went round the goalkeeper into an empty net, only he can answer that, because that was the goal that might have opened up the gates and maybe made it more comfortable for them. But I've got to say, Hearts' response was fantastic as the game was getting into the later stages, and you could always sense, and I said to you just after half-time, remember, that if Hearts scored first, then in for a game. But you know, they just switched off for that wee bit second at the end there, and Suarez, thankfully it was him that got the goal, because he would have been kicking himself if they had lost this game after the chance he had.
Liverpool controlled the game, but they didn't control the tie because they didn't take their chances. And the fact that Hearts were able to stay in the game, their fans they'll be absolutely high as kites on their way back to Edinburgh.
Well, you can see now they're still there. The reception they gave the team at the end of the match there just speaks volumes for the way that the team played, because they knew they come in here that probably before the match or the two legs started, probably people were saying 5 or 6 goals between each other, but they're on them a real close race tonight.
Look, if you don't take your chances, you leave yourself open to something like this when your goalkeeper has a really bad night at the office with this save, and all of a sudden the tie is under threat, because once it goes to, if it had gone to extra time, who knows? Okay, we don't accept it, but Liverpool should have closed this game down.
Yeah, they should have done him. Maybe Sterling and then Borini. They should keep Temple on his right foot. He's all right-footed. They let him come inside. Still, Pepe will be very disappointed with that goal. There's been talk in the paper this week that De Vries may be coming from Swansea to give him some competition, and last year didn't have his best season, so he has to step up as well. The ball might be moving a little bit, but still it's straight down his throat. He should be handling this better, and he shouldn't end up in the back of the net.
And for the Hearts fans, well, all of a sudden then they were starting to think what could happen. Did they then commit too many men forward after that? Sort of when they got into that position, it's late in the game, and all of a sudden they've got the away goal too.
Yes, but you also got to know that maybe they were up on a high after, you know, getting that goal, and maybe they were thinking about winning the game and you know, pushing forward, because another goal then they're through, because obviously if Liverpool get one back, 2 away goals, so you can understand that. But it was, you know, it'd maybe been better if they'd taken it into extra time. But
I guess we shouldn't really criticise them for really taking the game to Liverpool, because they were on the front foot by then, and when you leave yourself open to someone like Suarez, he's going to do that.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and I don't think there's any real danger. There's still got the back four behind the ball, one midfielder. There wasn't really any danger. They defended as well to keep him outside on his left foot. Maybe the goalkeeper should do a little bit better, but it's a fantastic finish. We know he's capable of that.
Yeah, but Hearts are a young side. You know, they were on a high. They'd equalised. They equalised in the tie, and then they've gone on thinking, well, you know, another goal and we're through here. So you can't blame them for that. You know, it was a great spirited performance, and they maybe going to see that they had a chance there to go through, and they nearly did it.
Look, it's work in progress. What do you say to Liverpool fans that are thinking now, well, we should have sorted this game out a little bit easier than that?
Yeah, but still, I think performance-wise, Brendan Rodgers will be disappointed. It was nowhere near as good enough as he expected, and as it played on Sunday. Obviously, it's a different game. These are the types of games Liverpool struggled last season, when they had teams coming here, 10 or 11 men behind the ball, when they had to break him down. And I think this is where Nuri Sahin will be a major player for them, and maybe one or two more coming in, because if you want to break teams down, you need a little bit of magic. And apart from Sterling, when he came on in the second half, they lacked it over the 90 minutes, and they need somebody who can open teams up. Apart from Sterling and Suarez, they haven't really got a player there. I think Downing was excellent tonight at left back. Maybe this is future for him to play in that position, but I think there's still one or two offensive players short to really compete with the top four.
Liverpool fans will be wondering too. Andy Carroll's gone to West Ham. They'll be wondering who's going to come in the next 24 hours. That remains to be seen. More reaction from Anfield still to come. We'll be hearing from the two managers. Brendan Rodgers, we'll find out tomorrow who his team are going to play in the group stage of the Europa League. John McGlynn will be so proud of his boys. Hear from them both next.